It's the end of August 2018, and so much is going on at Walt Disney World. There's Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party starting. There's Epcot's Food and Wine Festival starting, and I'm going to be there. Welcome everyone, Mark here from the Average Me channel, and I am so excited. By the time you watch this, either the whole thing will be over, or at the very least, I am in an airplane on my way to Walt Disney World. And the first thing that I'm going to be seeing is Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party at the Magic Kingdom. And this is really exciting for me. I went for my first time last year. It was a really good time. I'm going to talk a little bit about the party itself, but not too much because I'll be going there tonight. And so in the next coming days, you'll see some of the video from the actual party. However, I do want to talk about what the Not So Scary Halloween Party is, because some of you may be unfamiliar with it. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the costume, because I am going to be in costume. And in just a little bit, I'm going to show you the costume that I have picked out. Now, you can't dress in just anything, although they are a little more flexible. During Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, they still have rules and regulations and restrictions. For example, I cannot dress identical to one of the characters. They don't want you dressing in such a way that you are going to confuse other guests. But you can dress like the characters. You can dress in a theme like the characters. So I'm going to read you the exact costume rules. I have them written down right here. So forgive me for looking off screen, but I want to make sure that I get everything right. So the general rules state, I'm not going to go through everything, but I'll give you an idea. They reserve the right to deny admission to anybody who they think is dressed inappropriately. They may dress as their favorite character, but not pose for pictures or sign autographs. Costumes must be family friendly and not, here's what they use the terms, obstructive, offensive, objectionable, or violent. Now, I've seen people go around, I'm just giving you an example of something that is not really vulgar, although I've seen some pretty tasteless things, even in the park. There's that one that has Walter White, from Breaking Bad, with Mickey Mouse ears on, and it says Walt underneath it in the Walt Disney type. I think I would make him turn that shirt inside out, because I think that's kind of offensive to the brand myself. What do you think? Am I being too persnickety? But let's go on. Costumes may not contain any weapons that resemble or could easily be mistaken for an actual weapon. Costumes may not contain sharp objects, pointed objects, or materials that may accidentally strike another guest. Guests who do not adhere to these guidelines may be refused entry and or removed from the park unless his or her costume can be modified to meet the standards. Like I said, oftentimes you might be able to put another shirt on or turn it inside out, something along those lines. My costume is not going to fall under any of those objectionable guideline restrictions. All right. Guests under age 13. Now we have other guidelines, all right? Costumes and some masks may be worn as long as the mask does not cover the entire face and eyes are visible. So in other words, you couldn't use some of those full face ninja masks, right? Guests 14 age and older. Layered costumes or costume props that entirely surround the body are strongly discouraged and may be subject to additional security screening. Costumes may not reach or drag on the ground. They don't want people tripping and falling and causing hazards. Capes may be worn if it does not go below the waist. Themed t-shirts, blouses, sweatshirts, and hats are acceptable. Acceptable accessories include transparent wings, plastic lightsabers, toy swords, and tutus. Isn't that a funny thing to mention specifically? Tutus. They do allow tutus. I'm sorry, I just like saying tutu. Headwear may be worn as long as it does not cover the face, and masks of any kind may not be worn. So those are the restrictions. I'm going to save it until the end of this video for you to see what I'm going to be wearing. Now, what are some of the things that are at this party? Now, first of all, let's talk about Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and what it is. Like I said, I went to the first one last year. It is what they call a hard ticket event or an extra fee. to get into the party. I know there's a lot of midweek, like Tuesday and Wednesday dates, and a lot of Friday dates. In general, if you avoid the weekend dates and if you avoid dates really close to Halloween, it's going to be less crowded. Last year, I did go really, really close to Halloween. It was so packed. This time, I'll be going tonight, Friday night, and it is only the second day it's open. So I don't know if a combination of it being really close to the opening and a weekend is going to mean there will be a lot in attendance, or the fact that we're still in August and far away from Halloween is going to mean there's not going to be a lot. I just don't know. But we'll see, won't we? I know if you buy tickets online, you can save money, I think $10. I'm an annual pass holder, so I got the annual pass holder rate, which I think is just that same $10. But anyways, I think I paid somewhere around $70 or $75. Now what happens is on these nights at 7 o'clock, the park closes to the general public, and only people who have paid the additional ticket for the party can be in, because you'll have a special wristband. Now, in truth, I think as long as you didn't try to partake in any of the additional activities, as long as you didn't try to do a meet and greet, as long as you didn't try to go on a ride, I think you could probably hang out if you just kept a low profile. I'm not suggesting you do this. I'm just saying I think it's really hard to clear that park out. And if it's hustle and bustle and you're being inconspicuous, you're not causing trouble, you could probably get away with staying and watching the parade and the castle show. I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying I'll bet you could. But what exactly goes on then after that magic hour of 7 o'clock? Well, there is a show in front of the castle. And that show in front of the castle is the Sanderson sisters from Hocus Pocus. I saw this last year. It's a really cool show. It's a song and dance, and it's all about villains. It's based on the villains, and a lot of villains show up. And here specifically it says Oogie Boogie, Maleficent, Dr. Facilier. Combine them and other great Disney villains with amazing dancers, wild visual projections, and otherworldly special effects, and it makes the Hocus Pocus villain spectacular, not to be missed Halloween treat. I have to agree. Some of the things that you just have to go to, number one, are that castle show. Number two is going to be the parade. So let's talk about the parade. Mickey's Boo to You Halloween Parade. And they describe it as a hair-raising ride by the Headless Horseman. My goodness. It is amazing. Now, when I watched the parade last year, I was over by Liberty Square. I was standing kind of in front of the stocks, you know, where you put your head and your hands in the stocks. And when that Headless Horseman came galloping down, it is one of the most memorable things I've ever seen at Disney. It was magnificent. It's a Headless Horseman galloping down the parade road on a horse. It was just amazing. Anyways, it begins with the Headless Horseman himself, and followed by a collection of frightening floats, Disney characters, and Halloween costumes. Now, some of the things that are really cool, they have, which, I don't know, I'm going to call them the Gravediggers, but they're dressed up in the Haunted Mansion butler outfits. I'm not sure what they're supposed to be, but I call them Gravediggers because they do have the shovels, and they do a dance. When they scrape those shovels in the ground, they spark, and it is really, really, really cool. They have hitchhiking ghosts on a parade. The ballroom dancers, that's really cool, you know, from the ballroom scene of the Haunted Mansion. So all of that stuff and more is in this parade. It's very cool. It's a really, really neat parade to see. And the only time you can see it is during the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. Oh, I know. Something that anyone that's watched my videos knows that I really like the Dapper Dans. Dapper Dans are just one of those fun things that you stumble across, you know, on Main Street. And this time of year, during the Not So Scary, they have the Cadaver Dans. The Dapper Dans are dressed up like spooky ghosts or zombies, you know, whatever you want to call them. And it is so much fun. And they sing all the scary songs. Now here I found a list of some of the songs the Cadaver Dans might sing. Boo, Cruella de Vil, Darkness on the Delta, Ghost Riders in the Sky, Grim Grinning Ghosts. We all know that song, right? Happy Trails, Home on the Range, Lone Prairie, Rawhide, The Headless Horseman, the Oogie Boogie song, Trick or Treat, Tumbling Tumbleweeds, Wahoo, Why Do They Call Me a Tenderfoot? But I am going to be sure to track down the Dapper Dans. I've always liked them. Cadaver Dans, excuse me, because I've always liked them. All right, the Happy Hallowishes fireworks. They have a special fireworks during Halloween, and it's narrated by the ghost host, and it has a different firework projections and different music. Some of the music it says it has here are going to be Grim Grinning Ghosts, Poor Unfortunate Souls, the Ursula song, right? Never Smile at a Crocodile. So all the villain things again. The Skeleton Dance, Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf, Oogie Boogie song, and Night on Bald Mountain. So it really is a fun fireworks show. Now, those of you who watch my video also know that I'm not one of those people that are in love with fireworks. I like to see them under different situations, but you know, you can see the fireworks so many times. And so sometimes I take that opportunity to do other things. For example, a lot of the rides clear out and you can get onto you know, shorter lines in some of the more popular rides during the fireworks, but not this one. If I'm paying to go to this event, I am absolutely going to watch the parade. I'm going to watch the fireworks show. I am going to listen to the Cadaver Dans. I am going to watch the castle show. Did I say that already? But there are other things. There's meet and greets of characters that you don't always see, or the characters that you do see, and they're also dressed up in Halloween costumes. So Winnie the Pooh will be in a Halloween costume. And some of the characters, I remember last year waiting a long time to see Jack Skellington. And the sad thing about it, I hate to bring this down, but I wish that Disney would be a little tighter on the lines. The event starts at 7, but you will see people lined up at 4:30 and 5 for some of these. And some of the people don't even have the bands because they're still allowed to be in the park at 4:30 and 5. So by the time 7 o'clock comes, there might be an hour and a half wait to go see your favorite character. I wish they would rein that in a little bit, but there are a lot of characters you can see. If I remember correctly, they had all the Winnie the Pooh, all of the friends together in one place. You know, they had Pooh Bear and Piglet and Tigger and Eeyore all in one spot. They had all 7 dwarves that you could get a picture of together. So that's pretty cool. Other things they do. Now, some rides are closed down. I'm looking here in Jungle Cruise, Big Thunder Mountain. Some of those rides are closed down. But other rides, they've added things to. Like Space Mountain, they've added things to. Magic Tea Party, and I know the Pirates of the Caribbean, that there's someone called Gunpowder Pete. And apparently all these pirates are looking for Gunpowder Pete, and he's a live action character that is inside the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. So you actually see a live pirate inside there, not just the animatronics. I'm really excited about that. Now, the thing is, they also have novelty treats, and now that I didn't have that page here, I know that there is a special treats, desserts type thing, and it's cordoned off, and you can try all kinds of different desserts, and then you can watch the fireworks from there. But I think it's something like a $75 ticket. So if you're already paying to get in the park, and on top of that, you're paying the extra ticket for the Halloween party. On top of that, you're paying for this dessert. That can get to be a very expensive night. So I'm not going to do it. But if you do it, I would love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what it's like. It's just getting to be a little too deep for my pockets. There are a lot of other specialty treats out. And so there's so much to take in that short period of time. And I think it goes until midnight. So you have 5 hours. Now, I'm going to tell you things that I'm going to try to do, and then some things that I'll probably not do. I'll probably try for one meet and greet. Because of the long lines, I'm not going to do too much of that because I want to see many of the other things. I've already said I'm going to see the parade. I'm going to see the Cadaver Dans. I'm going to watch the castle show, and I'm going to watch a fireworks. So those for sure I'm going to do. I'm going to go on Pirates, absolutely. Oh, I forgot the big thing, trick-or-treating, different spots throughout the park. They give you a bag when you go on a trick-or-treat bag, and you go up and you collect trick-or-treat candy. And it's not just one piece. They'll give you a big handful. You know, I mean, you're paying $85, right? So you have a whole bunch of candy. I don't know what I'm going to do with all that candy because I don't eat all that much candy. Actually, I'll eat that much candy, but normally I don't because I just don't buy the candy. If it's not there, I don't miss it. If it's there, I miss it. If I go to the store, I'll never buy candy. If I have a whole bag full of it in my hotel room, unfortunately, I will probably eat that candy. They also have, you know, if you have special dietary concerns, they have special Halloween things. I think what they do is they give you a token. They drop that in your bag, and then you can redeem that at a different place for things that, you know, are non-allergenic or whatever the case may be. So I'll be collecting some of that. It seems to me that there was, and I can't recall right now, but there was a special meet and greet I also wanted to do. I can't remember what it was, but it seemed to me it was by the boat landing, by the riverboat landing. I know they had a trick-or-treat thing there, but I thought they also had a meet and greet. So a lot of the stuff I'm doing off the cuff. I did jot some things down. Obviously, I had some papers here that I wanted to make sure I hit on some key points. But a lot of this, I'm just winging it because I am excited about tonight. So what am I going to dress as? I'll give you a hint, and then I'll show you my costume that I'm wearing. Now, as far as costumes, I'm not really big on costumes because I don't like things that are cumbersome. I don't like things that are going to make me hot. I don't even like carrying a backpack when I'm at the park. I have a little camera case that I sling over my shoulder, and if something doesn't fit in it, I don't take it. Usually, you know, my camera will go in there, some batteries will go in there, my charging stick for the phone will go in there. My phone can fit in it. My keys from the car. That's about it. Beyond that, I don't like to carry a lot. So when I'm wearing my costume, I don't like to have backpacks and that kind of thing that are heavy and cumbersome. So I wanted to be kind of a little wise guy, but I wanted to be a character that's also endearing. I didn't want it to be something scary. And this is going to be more representative of a character, not an actual character costume. So I'll give you a little thought. It is from an animated feature that was made in the last 5 years. Kind of a wiseacre, charming guy. You have something in mind? So here we go. It's me, Nick Wilde. So what do you think? I didn't want to wear a costume that would be too cumbersome. I wanted something that wouldn't be hot. I wanted something I could walk around in unencumbered. I wanted something that was just suggestive of a character. So I found the shirt and the tie online, and I think it'll just be a nice, you know, wear it with some khaki pants, and you got Nick Wilde. Maybe I'll find a Judy Hop to pose. Is it Hop or Hops? The cute little bunny. I know you're not supposed to say a bunny's cute, right? Isn't that part of the ongoing storyline? But there you have it. So if you're going to be there, you can look for me as Nick Wilde. This video is already running long, so I think we're going to bring it to a close right now. And I'll see you in a few days with my report of my visit to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Then a few days after that, I think Thursday of next week, the 2018 Epcot Food and Wine Festival begins, and I'm so excited for that as well. Thanks for watching, everybody. As always, I love your comments. Please like the video, share the videos, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. I'm Mark from the Average Me channel.